Hi guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Vega and I am back in the cut with another video. If you are new, welcome to the channel and don't forget to subscribe before you leave. So as you can tell from the title of this video is actually for the girls who have been asking me to do the story time for the longest time. So I'm finally doing it. I never really had the time to do it, but I'm gonna do it, okay? Because I have the time. I figured let me do the story time because the girls have been asking. Okay, the girls have been asking for the story, so let me give the girls what they want. So before we get into this video, make sure you guys like, comment and subscribe so we can keep this thing going. Now let's get into the video. And also, this is not the reason why I've been gone on YouTube for the longest time. I'm just gonna blame it on my job at this point because oh child, my job is the ghetto. But anyway, that's not why we are. So let me just get into the story. Okay, obviously the first thing was that I missed my period, right? But now that wasn't alarming to me because my period was always irregular. It never came when it was supposed to come. Also, I didn't even pay attention to the fact that my period is not coming. My boyfriend was the one was actually reminding me. He was like, when you supposed to get your period? I said, I don't even know. I never paid attention to my period. It was just there when it was there. I wasn't really the type to be like, oh my gosh, my period was supposed to come, I'm stressed. No, it was never like that. Because I was so used to it being irregular that I just knew I must just give it a little bit more time and it will come eventually. But anyway, he mentioned that. He was like, when are you supposed to get your period? And I was like, I don't know. So then I went to my app, right? So I went in this app that I have to see when it was supposed to start. Obviously the app wasn't accurate because like I said, my period was always irregular, because even with the app, like my app would give me a certain date but my period would still not come on that day. But then I would know at least more or less maybe a few days after that, or maybe a week after that, I'm gonna get my period. But nonetheless, I went on the app and I saw, okay, I was supposed to get my period about a week ago. So then I told my boyfriend, I was like, okay, I was supposed to get my period. And then I tried to convince him. Well, not tried. I didn't try to convince him. But I did tell him that, no man, it's gonna come. I know my body. It's still gonna come. And then he was on some, let me know if you experience any symptoms, whatever the case, or any irregular symptoms, or whatever. Because in his head, he already had it figured out. I don't know what it is about men and just knowing, but in his head he already figured it out. He already knew that I am pregnant because he told me, you are pregnant. And I was over here like, no I'm not. So I was a bit in denial like for the longest time, because the only reason why I was in denial, not because I didn't want to be pregnant, but because like I said, I knew my body. Like I know my body, I know what my period does, I know my cycle, and I know it's gonna come eventually. So that's the reason why I was in denial, because I had trust, I had faith in my body that it was going to do the things, it was gonna do what it was supposed to do. So then we waited about a week later or a few days later, my boobs started to hurt. So then in my head I'm like, okay, no, this is my period, because that's usually how it would start. So then I was like, okay, no, my period is gonna come because my boobs are hurting. But now the only difference is this time my boobs were so painful. It was excruciating. It was painful and it was hard and it was so big. Like it literally got so big. And then this one day I sat on my bed and then for a split second I thought, okay, maybe I'm pregnant, because why is my boobs like this? But then the thought went away again. Like I brushed it off like, no man, that's not the case. So now the week goes by, because every time I would hug my boyfriend, he'd be like, when is your period coming? Because this is nonsense. I can't even hug you properly and you're complaining because your boobs hurt. And I kept telling him, it's gonna come, just relax, it's gonna come. It never came, bitch. Then I started to become like tired. Then the fatigue started kicking in. Because when I tell you guys, in the beginning, my first trimester, all I did was sleep. I was over here thinking that no, it's my job, because I'm so tired when I come home from work, and like I would only get one day off and then the next day I have to go to work again. It's just the cycle. And because the thing is, my job is mentally and physically draining. So I thought to myself, no, I'm just tired from work. Bitch, whole time So then this one time I had to go to the doctor. Well, not me, I accompanied my boyfriend to go to the doctor because he had to go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor with him. He went in, I was in the waiting area. I was like, you know what, I'm just gonna throw myself on this hot ass bench and I'm just gonna lay my ass down because I'm tired. After the doctor's appointment, we went back to his place, to his house, and we were in the kitchen. I remember we were standing in the kitchen and his mom came in the kitchen and it's like, you guys are probably gonna go sleep. And I said, of course. I'm definitely gonna go sleep. I need to sleep. I'm tired. I feel like I really need a nap. So then his mother was like, if you sleep like this now, I don't want to know what it's gonna be like when you're actually pregnant. And then in my head I'm thinking, if this woman would only know, if only she knew that there's such a big major possibility that I'm actually pregnant at this very moment, which I was already, you know, I was already pregnant at that point. I didn't know that yet, but like it was at a point where my boyfriend and I we already came to terms with the fact that, okay, there is a 99.9% chance that I actually am pregnant. You check. So in my head I'm thinking, if only she knew. So then she left the kitchen and I told my boyfriend, if only she knew. And then he was also like, if only she knew that it might actually be the truth. I actually you know, because at that point it wasn't confirmed yet. Like we had conversations about it and about the possibilities and whatever the case may be. And then like slowly but surely I also like started to come to terms with, okay, there's a possibility, because he was the one that kept telling me, you are pregnant, you are pregnant, you are pregnant. And I would be like, no I'm not, no I'm not, no I'm not. My period's gonna come, my period's gonna come, my period's gonna come. But nonetheless, so he knew already deep down, and I was like just coming to terms with it. So then I went to go and sleep. Like it was at the point where, guys, the way I got so tired, it was at a point where every time I go over to my boyfriend's house, I would just sleep. He would be like, okay, let's watch a movie, bitch. I said, fuck that movie, I'm gonna sleep. I would just sleep all day. And then it was so bad to the point where at some point I felt so bad. I was like, babe, I'm so sorry. Like, I feel so bad for sleeping. Every time I come over, I feel like I'm not spending time with you because all I want to do is sleep. And then he was like, ah, man, I understand because you're growing a life inside of you. I said, nigga, what? Yeah, I would like sleep so much. I would literally sleep so much. And then after that, the nausea came. But now, the nausea that I experienced wasn't to the point where I would be sick, where I have to now run to the bathroom and go throw up and like just do the most. I have to drink ginger tea. I have to get nausea things to help for my nausea. Like, it wasn't like that. My nausea was very weird. I would just like sit randomly. Isn't it like I would just bloom randomly, and then I would just like get like gag reflexes. I would just gag out of nowhere. I would just be like, I would just like start feeling like I need to throw up, but I didn't get the nauseous feeling, if that makes sense. And it also wasn't bad to the point where I had to like run to the bathroom to go and throw up. The one time that it did happen though, I was also liquor talking to my boyfriend. Next thing you know, I stayed up, ran in the house to the bathroom because I felt like I wanted to throw up. Got to the bathroom, nothing came out. That happened for like a good few weeks, I would say, but it wasn't consistent and it wasn't like every day. It was just like sometimes, you know, but it went on for like a few weeks. And then the only time that I actually physically like actually threw up was I was at work. Ek het vetkoek geëet, nee, girl. I'm so surprised that I can even stomach that to this day, because that's what made me throw up that first time. Ek het vetkoek geëet, nee. And then I remember I was like, I don't feel good, like my body is not bodying. So I went to the bathroom. As soon as I got into that stall, bitch, I threw up. I literally threw up. I said, what is this? What the fuck is this? And then I went back to work and I told my boyfriend, like I said, babe, I just threw up. And he was like, yeah, you are pregnant. You are definitely pregnant. And then I threw up like probably 3-4 more times after that. And that was it. I didn't throw up any more than that. Literally throughout my entire pregnancy, I only threw up like 5 or 6 times. I never experienced like the really bad nausea and like throwing up and being sick and all that. I didn't experience that. It only happened like a few times. There was one time where I literally couldn't get out of bed. I was so weak. I was so sick. I was so nauseous. I texted people at my job. I said I cannot come in today because I cannot. Somebody at my work already like could tell that I am pregnant. And there was a time when I didn't say anything to anybody. I didn't give off any signs or anything, but they just started coming at me randomly saying, you are pregnant. You are pregnant. I'm like, what? Where are these people getting this from? Because I'm not giving the girls pregnant, you know? So where are you getting this from? So I just called in to work and I said, I can't make it to work today because I'm sick. I'm dying. I cannot. So that was like the only time that it really had me weak. Other than that, I haven't really been sick. I haven't been experiencing that type of symptoms where I'm just like nauseous and askies. I'm sorry. I'm gassy and I'm out of breath. So please. But yeah, so that was that symptom. And then the last time that I threw up at work was actually what confirmed it for me, because girl, let me tell you, when I threw up, right, it was trigger warning. I'm about to describe what the throw up looked like. Okay, trigger warning, you can skip. If you don't want to skip, that's your problem, but I'm gonna describe it. Okay, I'm gonna describe it. So the throw up was clear and foamy, right? It was slijmerig in like skemerig. So then I was like, what the fuck is this coming out of my body? What is this? So then I went back to work, you know. After I went to go throw up, I went back to work and I googled. I said, why is my throw up looking like this? And then there was a list of symptoms talking about stomach virus, this, that. And pregnancy was there also. Pregnancy was there. And I only could focus on the pregnancy. I said, bitch, I don't have a stomach virus. This is probably definitely pregnancy. So I texted my boyfriend. I told him, babe, I threw up and this is what it looks like and this is what it says on Google. I don't know if I told him that I googled it, but I did tell him like I threw up and it, I don't know if I described it to him. I'm not sure if I described it to him, but I did tell him like, yeah, Sinjay. And then he was like, okay, now I'm actually very much convinced that you are pregnant. Like, we need to now actually take the test to confirm. And that's also what confirmed it for me, because I was like, okay, this is me throwing up and gagging, something must be going on. So then eventually we went to go and buy the test. We took the test and it was confirmed. Girl, let me tell you about this test. Let's talk about it. So when I took the test, you know how usually when I'm sure you've seen videos probably where people take tests and like the second line is very faint, it doesn't really show much, whatever the case. Girl, when I tell you, when I took that test, that line was clear as daylight. And that line popped up so fast, that second line popped up so fast, I didn't even have time to reevaluate my life. Because I took the first test, I put it down on the base and I put it down, and then the line went, it went, and I was like, okay, wow, that's loading. Let me take the other test, you know what I'm saying? Girl, as soon as I took the second test to put it down, that other test already showed the second line. I said, bitch, can you give me time to breathe at least, you know? So then the first test, the second line shows up. Second test, not too long after, second line shows up, and both of those tests are so clear. Like, those lines are so clear. It's not a faint line where you're like, is there a line? I can't see a line. Is there a line? Is it not a line? What is that? No, it was a line. Clear as daylight, baby. Clear as daylight. I said, what? Because you know, usually, like when people take pregnancy tests and stuff, they have to wait like a good like 2-3 minutes. Girl, I only waited like 15 seconds, if not 10. I'm not even kidding. It was very fast. And I said, oh, you pregnant. Okay. You pregnant. So then I went out and I showed my boyfriend the test. And he was just smiling. And I was like, how do you feel about that? And he said, and then he was like, it's something that we obviously expected. Because like I said, more and more as I got the symptoms, like we came to terms with like, you know what, this is actually happening. We literally just needed the test to confirm it. Like we knew, but we just needed the test to confirm. So when the test came out positive, it didn't come as a surprise. I wasn't like, oh my gosh, my kaka's coat, like I'm gonna be in so much trouble, my mother's gonna kill me. For some reason I was like so calm about it. And I was like, you know what, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? And also, disclaimer, it wasn't a situation where it was a, I don't want to say a mistake or an accident. I don't know how to say it. It was none of the above. I remember in the beginning, when I was still experiencing those symptoms, I asked my boyfriend, I asked him, like, what if I am actually pregnant? And then he said, well, then we have a baby. That's just that on that, it's about that. So it wasn't a thing where we panicked and we were like, oh my gosh, we're about to have a baby, what the fuck is actually happening? No, it wasn't like that at all. It was something that we, ooh, I was kicking. It was something that we wanted. All I want to say is it wasn't an accident and it wasn't a mistake either. So just to put it out there. T. But anyway, so that's how I found out, you know what I'm saying, about this little baby. Oh yeah, obviously people are gonna ask, what was my mother's reaction? Because everybody who knows my mother knows that she will kill a bitch. So we were planning on telling my mom, and then the day that that it was actually supposed to happen, my grandma and them like came over. So there were a lot of people in my house, and then my boyfriend he was like, you know what, let's cancel this. I'm not ready to, like, there's too many people here, let's not do it now, it's not the right time. I was ready, you know, I was actually ready. I was so prepared to tell my mother, but then he was like, no, we're not doing it. So then we postponed it, and then I told him, you know what, I think it's best if you just come with your mother, because at the end of the day, if you think about it, that's like actually the right thing to do. Actually, okay, us in, you made a girl pregnant, whether she's your girlfriend or not, you go to that girl's house with your mother or your father or your elders or whoever, and I can say to the auntie, that is literally the right thing to do, in my opinion. So he came here with his mom and then told my mother, and then my mother's reaction was, honestly, I expected the worst. I'm not gonna lie to you, because knowing how my mom is, I literally expected the worst. I thought, yeah, that's how alles doen. But then she literally had no reaction. She just gave me one look. Literally, she just gave me one look. She didn't say anything. I said, oh god. That evening she didn't speak to me. The next day a little bit she didn't speak to me, and after that she started speaking to me again. So it was just, she was just like mad for that moment. I don't know if she was mad, if she was angry, if she was sad, if she was emotional, if she was disappointed, if she was, I don't know what she was, but it didn't last long. And oh wait, and then she just came to terms with it, and then yeah. But if this was me 2 years ago, and even prior to that, I definitely would have panicked. I would have, I don't know what, girl. It would have been over for me. Yeah, I guess I'm just at a stage where I'm just like, I want a baby, so I want a baby. And then after that, everything just, I don't know, time just flew by so fast. Tell me why when we went to our first doctor's appointment, I was already 16 weeks. I was already 4 months pregnant at the time. I said, bitch, what? I'm already 4 months. Now we eventually went to the doctor and then saw that I'm already 16 weeks. At the time I was already 16 weeks. So I was pretty far along. I was already in my second trimester. I wasn't even 3 months pregnant yet and my belly already started showing. Like I remember I sent my best friend this picture and I was like, look at how big my belly is and I'm not even 3 months yet. Because they must say like usually like when you're 3 months you start to like show like kind of. But my belly was kind of big. I said what? But then ironically enough, throughout my entire pregnancy I never had a big belly. Like it was never big. Like even my belly right now is giving the girls very much almost 6 months, 5 months pregnant. And in reality, I'm actually literally so close to popping this baby out. When you look at my face, it's not giving the girls pregnancy. When you look at my belly, it's giving the girls pregnancy. Like I'm literally, my pregnancy is literally all belly, no fat, no nothing. I do have a little hyperpigmentation here and there, but that just comes with being a woman of color, you know what I'm saying? And that's a flex. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you guys in my next video.